The fracture in mountain of government is not just corruption, it is disconnection from divine blueprints. We are governing souls as if they are statistics, just another number. We are drafting laws that defend the letter but crushes the spirit. What are we doing? Are we serious at all? It's not a anywhere beliefs matter. What you need is vision, what you need is conviction, and what you need is audacity to carry justice in your bones. Where are the apostles in the marketplace?
Here is to the bold visionaries, kingdom-minded disruptors at the forefront of God's end-time agenda. While some may call them crazy, we see a call to dominion mandate. God has empowered us to take territories, solving the world's greatest problems under the power of His glory. This is the Mountains of Influence podcast. Welcome.
Laws can't heal what love was meant to build. No, they can't. Systems can't govern what your spirit was meant to design. Are you getting me? Systems can't govern what spirit was meant to design. And wait for this one. Justice. True justice has never belonged to the hands of politics, but to the very heart of God, the one who made us all. Hello and welcome to the Mountains of Influence podcast. These special editions, this special series for Finding the Equilibrium, the remarkable book by Abimbola Victoria Oliyide. This series, we are exploring the 7 mountains of influence. On which better podcast to discuss the mountains of influence when we are talking about finding the equilibrium? So, we are exploring all the fractures within these mountains and moving them to fullness. I remain your phenomenal host. My name again, in case you're coming across it for the very first time, I am Abimbola Victoria Oliyide. Today, we are moving right into one of the most brittle mountains in our world. We are confronting that mountain today, even though it is a brittle one. And it is the mountain of government. Are you excited like I am? I am excited to have this conversation with you. On this mountain of government, we have fractured policies, and on this discourse is going to meet with prophetic silence. On this mountain, we have power which often outweighs purpose. But there is hope, because you and I, the reformers, we are rising. So grab your seat, your popcorn, like this video, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the meat of the matter as we discuss the systems and the fracture within the government. So, what are we talking about? See, governments were never meant to be gods, but we gave them our trust. We gave them so much power, and we expect that they are going to change our world. Hey, nobody will do it for you. We gave them our pain. If only government can do this, if only government can do that. And for many, we gave them the place of the prophet. We are waiting for them to plan the future for us. We are waiting for them to do this, do that. You elect a political officer into power and you expect that everything will turn out rosy. We thought legislation would solve injustice. We thought policies would protect us. But what happens when the law upholds what heaven detests, what God hates, what God does not want? Is that not a recipe for disaster? Your guess is as good as mine. Guys, what happens when policies punish poverty? When systems strip dignity? When leaders are elected by noise but not anointed by vision? Where there is no vision, the people perish. No wonder we are languishing in pain. No wonder we are constantly in a loop, in a cycle, waiting for redemption, when our own redemption lies within us. See, the fracture in the government mountain, the mountain of government, is not just corruption. It is disconnection from divine blueprints. It is not just merely corruption, because if you are aligned with your original divine blueprints, you won't find yourself being corrupt or doing the things that are loggerheads, that is a contradiction to who you truly are. It's a misalignment problem. We are governing souls as if they are statistics, just another number. We are drafting laws that defend the letter but crushes the spirit. What are we doing? Are we serious at all? I don't think so. This is a very critical conversation. We need to raise the prophetic voice in public systems. Now more than ever, the prophetic needs to move with the pragmatic. We need to move prophetic into the practicalities of things. So, where is the prophetic? Where is the person who weeps before they legislate? Where is the leader who dreams with heaven before drafting a policy? Where are the leaders that speak to God before drafting a policy? It is not a anywhere beliefs matter. What does God want for his people? Where are the apostles in the marketplace? See, prophetic governance is not just about hearing God. No, this is serious matter. It's about restoring heaven's intent through earthly structures. Like I said in one of the episodes, this special episode, the systems are made for man and not man for the systems. Now, a case in point, when Joseph rose in Egypt, he didn't just interpret Pharaoh's dreams, he reformed the nation. So, do you dream dreams, but you don't have any pragmatic aspect to it? Then there is a problem. When Daniel served in Babylon, he didn't bow. He revealed a higher order, guys. He revealed a higher order. The women are asking, what about women? When Esther entered the palace, it wasn't for comfort. It was for confrontation, but disguised as a queen. They didn't see her coming. You don't need a seat in the parliament to reform a system. But what you need is vision, the right vision. Write the vision, make it plain that he may run with he that reads it. What you need is vision. What you need is conviction. And what you need is audacity to carry justice in your bones, to take the battle to the gates of the enemy, according to scriptures. So, for this mountain of government, we've already, spoken about a lot of things that are not going right. So how do we redefine the power and move from control to stewardship? How do we begin to reform the mountain of government and begin to put things in the right place? That is what Finding the Equilibrium, my book, delves into, the institution versus the individual. Government reform begins when power is redefined, not as control, but as stewardship. Was it not this soap opera that we used to watch back then? We're all pencils in the hands of the creator. So if you are listening to this, you might be called to what? To government mountain. You might be called to write policy, influence city planning, yeah. Sit on advisory boards, yeah. There is so much work to be done. Which aspect of the world will you be reforming like Nehemiah? You might be sent to mobilize communities for change, for paradigm shifts. You might be sent to counsel decision makers. Which portion are you going to pick up and reform? You might be called to pray at the gates. Which aspects have you been called to come and reform? Or simply to speak truth when silence has become law? I am speaking. Are you going to join me to speak? Are you going to leave your comments and let me know, and let the world know, and let us know as a community what aspect of the walls of government you are reforming? My friends, you are not just called to survive injustice. You are an ambassador of divine justice. So, whether in civic spaces, international policy, or school of governance, you are not too small to make an impact. Your influence can be felt wherever that you find yourself. You are not too late. Don't tell me you're already old, you're 60, you can't do anything. You can do something. Experience matters. And you are not too spiritual to be systemic. If Daniel could do it, if Joseph could do it, if David could do it, if Esther could do it, if Nehemiah could do it, then you can do it. And for such a time as this, in this dispensation, I believe things are even more easier to orchestrate, to implement, to execute than it was for them. Seek wisdom from the Holy Spirit. So we have gotten to our reflection point where we are going to take a pause. We're going to take a deep breath, and then we are going to answer some questions. So question 1, where have I been silently affected by unjust systems? Would it be calling you to make a difference for others so that others will not face the same problem you face? Write it down. Question number 2, have I confused human governance with divine justice? The battle is mine, says the Lord. Are you looking onto government to give you justice, or you're looking onto God? Write it down. Is there a system you ache to change, but you have disqualified yourself from? Some of us are scrolling through LinkedIn and we're seeing somebody doing great things out there. Is that, what school did they go? Oh, yeah, it's for people like that. Don't negotiate yourself out of significance. Like my mentor would say, what does prophetic leadership look like in your sphere? You need to transform that which you have received in the eyes of your understanding to practicality. As we close, know that God is still the highest seat of government. Yeah, heaven is his throne, the earth is his footstool, and just still belongs to God. So on this mountain of government, know that the earth is the Lord's and his fullness thereof. The rod you carry may not fit in a briefcase, but it was forged to shift atmospheres, cities, policies, and hearts. Will you be writing your name on earth, or in the sky, or in the sand? When you write your name on earth, it lasts forever. It moves from generation to generation. On sand, the wind can blow it away. In the sky, the nighttime would come and your name will not be seen again. Don't wait for the perfect position. Start from divine permission. God has already given you permission. Like I've said before, your fingerprints, as they are different from the remaining 8 billion people on earth, so is your assignment. So have you been called to the mountain of governance? So download the free reflection guide and caption, to help you with the prompts, the journaling prompts that I've already stated, and to keep it with you so that you can continue to have your reflective moment and ask yourself those deep questions. And that this episode is proudly sponsored by Finding the Equilibrium. So make sure you order the book so that you can read the stories of people like yourself and find the answers that you are seeking. I have been able to put into words the things that you have felt on your inside that you've not been able to quite articulate. On the next episode, we are taking a radical turn into the religion mountain, where doctrine has eclipsed destiny and disillusionment meets divine design. Guys, it's going to be hot. It's going to be what? It's going to be hot. But until then, I remain Abimbola Victoria Oliyide. Make sure you continue to speak, continue to reform, continue to govern with grit, with God at the center of it all. This is the Mountains of Influence podcast, and I'll see you next time, because the revolution continues. See you in the next episode. Yeah.